Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Ill Chill Will Show. I'm your host, Will, and this is episode 7. Thank y'all for joining me once again, man. In today's episode, I will discuss A'ja Wilson's historic start to the WNBA season, man. Amongst other news in the W, is the media still covering it wrong? I will talk about it. NBA Finals Porzingis status is up in the air again, man. I gotta talk about it. And can the Dallas Mavericks be the third team to make history coming back down 0-2? I have to talk about that. NFL news. CMC graces the Madden cover, Madden 25. What do I think about it? You know I'm going to talk about it. Mike Tomlin also got a contract extension. I have to talk about that. And last but not least, the Let's Talk About It segment. I will give my opinion on Caitlin Clark not making Team USA. Stay for it. Thank y'all. But first,
I said I'm ready for greatness. 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 I said I'm ready for. You learn to live no strangers. I said I'm ready for greatness.
so A'ja Wilson, man, she is out here giving the whole league the business, man. She became the first player ever in WNBA history to record 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 steals. Her actual stat line against the LA Sparks was 36 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, and 6 steals. She is on a tear, man. Do you know she haven't scored under 20 points this whole season, man. In the last 6 games, she scored 25 plus points. So A'ja, she is definitely on a campaign to become an MVP once again in the league. Now, can the Aces be better? They definitely could. They're still waiting on Chelsea Gray to come back. They're 5-4. They lost to a young LA Sparks team, man. But A'ja, she's been a constant in this league and a constant for her team. So when they get into the playoffs, I believe that she will win the MVP, and she should win the MVP. Even if they don't make the playoffs, man, like the numbers that she is putting up, it's like nobody has put up these numbers before. And coming out of South Carolina, she's a South Carolina product. I never really thought that A'ja was gonna be this good. Like when I watched her in college, I was like, yeah, she can play. I feel like she's gonna be good for the league. But I never really saw this coming. Like, she has turned herself into a bona fide beast. She's leading the league in 3 different categories this year: points, rebounds, and blocks. It's crazy. The stat line is crazy. So the MVP is hers. As long as she continue playing at this rate, the MVP is hers. Now, the rest of the league, they're going to get some help because she's going to play over in the Olympics with Team USA. So she's not going to get the break that a lot of these ladies that didn't make the team, that they're going to get. So she's going to still be playing. They're going to be rested up. When she come back, she's been playing. So they're going to have an advantage over A'ja after the Olympics. But right now, man, I mean, what she's doing and the numbers that she's putting up, this is just crazy. And this just shows you that, she's already been here. She's been in the league for a while now. She's a 2-time champion. And, I mean, I just feel like it's her league now. It's her league. Like, all of her teammates speak highly of her. I feel like A'ja, she's at the top of her game, and this is her league. So that brings me to far as the second half of this conversation is how the media is covering the sport. I feel like the WNBA is still being covered in a sloppy way. There's a whole lot of storylines that's being ran that shouldn't be ran, and a lot of people out there are saying things that either don't need to be said and not saying things that need to be said. So I'm going to say the things that need to be said. A'ja Wilson is the true face of the WNBA. She's the best player in the league. She's the best player in the world right now. There's no one better than her or playing the game better than her. So when the highlights come up or different things are being pushed advertisement-wise for the league, her face should be on it and behind it. I feel like the WNBA does a great job at pushing Asia out into the front of the league, as they should. But you got ESPN and FS1 that decides to do otherwise. They want to push other people out in front. And I don't know who's behind it or who's thinking it would be better to push others out in front of her. But the truth is, Asia is queen of this league. It's her league. She's been the most dominant player the last 2 seasons. The Las Vegas Aces, her team, has been the most dominant team the last 2 seasons. They sold out 15 of their 20 home games this season so far. This is before the season even started. And the WNBA just took in ticket sales. So they still have the opportunity to sell out the final 5 games, home games that they have this season. And I feel like that speaks volumes to what the Aces are doing, on top of the sponsorship that the whole team got. Everyone got a piece of that. So Asia Wilson, man, congratulations to her. She's doing a great job. And I feel like the media can do a hell of a better job at pushing her forward, pushing the other ladies forward versus just zeroing in on the most popular player. You can be the most popular player all you want to, but that doesn't make you the best player. The best player in the league is Asia Wilson, and she should be pushed that way. But that's just my opinion. What do y'all think? Do y'all feel like Asia Wilson should be pushed forward, or do y'all have somebody else that y'all like better? I already know a lot of people who they like and who they're going for. So over the weekend, I put out a video on TikTok, and it was just basically previewing the games that were coming on Saturday. And I got a whole lot of backlash of Caitlin Clark fans that came at me telling me that they don't want to see it unless it's her. And see, that's where the media comes in to play also. Because if all they want to see is her, how is Caitlin Clark pushing the league popularity and her fans travel with her? Her fans want to see her. They don't want to see anyone else. I got thousands of comments just saying if Caitlin Clark is not playing, I do not want to see the game. That's all I kept seeing. So if Caitlin Clark's fans are only having one view of things and all they want to see is her, then how is the league being pushed forward? So I feel like these big networks like ESPN and FS1, they have the popularity and they have the ability to push the narrative. But the narrative right now that's being pushed is Caitlin Clark. And I am not a Caitlin Clark hater. I have been told that I created a page on TikTok just to troll Caitlin Clark. And that can be further from the truth, because if you look at every video that I put up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever, I'm talking about all sports. The only sport that I haven't covered yet, and that's the NFL. And I will be covering that this year, as far as videos and shorts and things of that nature. But outside of that, I do more sports than just the WNBA. And I don't just cover Caitlin Clark and what she does. I cover the whole WNBA, every single team. So the media must get better. Facts must be put out there. And we have to push the ladies that deserve to be pushed. Not saying that Caitlin doesn't deserve to be pushed. The league as a whole deserves to be pushed. That's what I'm saying. not just one person. But I am saying if you're going to champion one person, one lady to carry the league, it got to be A'ja Wilson or no one else. That's all I'm saying, and that's all I have for this topic. So Porzingis is officially questionable for Game 3 of the NBA Finals, man. And this is not good news for the Boston Celtics. Okay, he already had a calf injury to his leg. So now to have another leg injury and being day-to-day, Coach Joe Mazzulla said that it was serious. Porzingis, he's trying to make it seem like it's not as serious. So we really don't know how serious the injury is. All we know is that it's a rare leg injury. Now, look, I'm no doctor, so I'm not going to sit up here and try to say what the leg injury is because it's a whole lot of words. I ain't trying to mess them up. But with that being said, do the Boston Celtics need Porzingis to close out this series? All they need is 2 more games to win, and they will be NBA champions. So if Porzingis is not there, can they make it happen? Now, a lot of people, well, I'm not going to say a lot of people, but I've seen some people have questions about this Boston Celtics team saying that they got here, even myself, because of injuries to other players, like Jimmy Butler not being around, Joel Embiid not being 100%, Jalen Brunson going down, Julius Randle going down before the playoffs for the Knicks also, Mitchell Robinson going down for the Knicks in the playoffs, and of course OG going down for the Knicks in the playoffs. So even I said that, it's been injuries. You had Giannis, Dame getting hurt. So the Celtics, they have had help along the way, but that's with any champion. There's a lot of champions that were able to get there, and it's usually the healthiest team that gets there. Now, with that being said, let's not forget about Porzingis going down in the first round. So we're not going to act like the Celtics weren't at 100% also. And I'm talking to myself too. I'm correcting myself. The Celtics, they wasn't 100%. They were able to get to the NBA Finals without Porzingis most of the playoffs. So I'm going to have to bow my head and give them a nod for that. I look past that, and that's my fault. I'm a Lakers fan. I don't really care. I mean, I don't like the Celtics. But the Celtics are looking like they're going to get an 18th championship. And as a Lakers fan, I can't stand it. Now, can Dallas come back and win this series? I feel like the doors is still cracked. It may not be all the way open, but it's still cracked. And the crack is Porzingis. Even if Porzingis does play, which they don't know the ramifications of what will happen or what lingering injury will be caused to his leg if he does decide to play. They don't really know. But if he comes back and he plays and he doesn't play well, and the Celtics don't have that rim protector, the floodgates are going to be open for Kyrie and Luka. Kyrie, his series so far, man, like he has not played his best game yet. He has been off. The Dallas team as a whole has been off. Like they went completely cold. They're shooting 20% from 3 and 40% from the field. You're not going to win a championship this way, Dallas. Not even going to get close. But let's not forget about how that 2016 Cleveland team, they wasn't looking that good. Kyrie was on that team also. We all know this. If you don't know, Kyrie was on the 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers championship team that came back down 3-1 against the Golden State Warriors. And they got hot. The whole team got hot at the right time. Let's not forget about the Miami Heat team with Shaq and D. Wade. They also were down 0-2, and they ripped off 4 straight on this same team, the Dallas Mavericks. But it was a different team, of course. Had Dirk Nowitzki. He was on that team also. But it's doable. You just got to get hot at the right time. Is the door cracked? Yes, it is. Porzingis' injury is definitely going to change things for the Celtics. But do I believe they can get it done without him? I absolutely think that they can. Do I want them to? Of course not. But they definitely can. Just 2 games. That's it. Jaylen Brown continue to play the way that he's playing. Jason Tatum steps up. He's yet to really, put his input in this finals. I mean, I'm not gonna say that he said that he was great. The media is kind of pushing that once again. Like he is the man, like he's number one. But Jason Kidd, with the Jedi mind trick, he said that Jaylen Brown was the best player on the team, on the Boston Celtics. And that really got a couple of people going. I mean, Drew, he just threw it out there and said, he's right. Other players, including Jason Tatum, they just, brushed it off and said, oh, I see what he's doing. He's trying to come in between the team. My opinion is I feel like Jason Tatum is the best team on the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown is a very important piece of the team, and they wouldn't be in the finals without Jaylen Brown. But Jason Tatum is definitely the best player on this team. And he's going to have to act like in these last 2 games. If Porzingis can't go, or if Porzingis is not 100%, or if he does go and he injures himself permanently and he cannot play, Jason Tatum have to be the one to step up these last 2 games that they have to win. All they need is 1 game in Dallas. They don't have to have both games in Dallas. All they need is 1. And you go back to Boston and you can close out at home. But you have to win 1. Jason Tatum is a big-time Kobe fan. I am too. He said job not finished. I feel like he's serious about that, and I feel like he's still locked in. He haven't played his greatest basketball yet in the NBA Finals, but I believe to get these last 2 wins, he just might show us what he's really made of. And I hope he does, because he deserves it. Does the Celtics deserve it? Not really, because like I said before, I'm a Lakers fan, so I got to hate a little. But Jason Tatum, he's awesome. I love his game. And I feel like he can step up and be that guy that we think he can be. But the Dallas Mavericks can get back in this series. All they have to do is just take care of home. If they take care of home, this is still a series. But if they continue to shoot like this, man, like, you ain't going to make it. If you can't get Kyrie Irving, the best out of Kyrie Irving in Dallas, you're not going to make it. Now, going home is going to help role players like P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. It's going to help them. It's going to help Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. It's going to help the role players. But Kyrie and Luka, they have to be the ones keeping this team going. Now, I guess I should say Kyrie more so. Luka is doing his job. He just needs help from his teammates. Luka has scored 25-plus points the first 2 games of the series. So Luka is doing his job. He's been the Mavericks' only 3-point shooter. But like I said, they're shooting 20% from 3, 40% from the field. They got to get better. Got to get much better if they want to win a game or 2 and turn this into a series, because they need to. They need to take care of home floor. But I guess we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. What do y'all think? Do y'all think the Dallas Mavericks can make history? I feel like they can. Do I want them to? Of course. I'm a Lakers fan. Again, I know I done said this about 4 or 5 times, but I can't stress it enough because I can't have the Boston Celtics winning 18. But can Boston get it done? Do y'all believe Boston can get it done without Porzingis? I do. I believe they do get the job done with or without Porzingis, even though I don't want them to. But I want to know what y'all think. Yo, what's up? This is Will, host of the Ill Chill Will Show. Just want to take time out to thank y'all for listening to my show. I drop each and every Thursday. If you like what you're hearing, just come back next Thursday. If you would like to follow me on X, I go back at ill_chill_will. On TikTok at illchill_will. And it's the same thing on Instagram. Thank y'all for listening. Come back each and every Thursday to tune into the Ill Chill Will Show. I hope y'all continue to enjoy the show. Thank you. So Mike Tomlin got a 3-year contract extension, man. I can't say that I am surprised. Every time people try to make it seem like he's going to lose his job, he just come in another season and he finishes above 500. So I don't think Mike Tomlin is going anywhere anytime soon for the Steelers. The Steelers have been known to hold on to their coaches. So Mike Tomlin has been doing a good job, in my opinion. Him getting this extension is definitely not a surprise to me. Steelers fans, how do y'all feel about this? Do y'all feel like coming into the season, he's going to do a better job, especially with a better quarterback? Well, 2 better quarterbacks. We don't really know about Russell Wilson, but Justin Fields showed that he definitely has a lot of potential, and maybe Russell just needed a change of scenery. But the quarterback situation is looking a lot better for the Pittsburgh Steelers going into this season than it has the last couple of years, well, pretty much since Ben Roethlisberger retired. But Steelers fans, what do y'all think about this? And fans of the NFL period, what do y'all think about this? Do y'all feel like Mike Tomlin deserved this contract extension? And just how do y'all feel about it, period? We're getting into other news. CMC, man. Madden 25 cover athlete. Congratulations to him. This is huge, I would say. As a kid, dreaming to play in the NFL myself, I definitely thought of being on the Madden cover, especially if you played John Madden football. So if CMC is anything like most of us who wish that we could have played in the league, and most of us that play Madden, I'm pretty sure he would feel the same way that we feel about being on the cover. Now, the Madden curse, man, is it still real? That's what I want to know. Will y'all be picking them up on y'all fantasy football teams this year, thinking about the Madden curse? Will you not pick them up on your fantasy football team? Well, the facts are, actually, the last 10 years, only 2.5 athletes really been struck by that Madden curse. It was big in the early 2000s up into the mid 2000s, but I think Calvin Johnson, he kind of like made the Madden curse non-existent because he had a historic year. He had like 1,900 receiving yards in 2013. Now, he did retire a couple of years later, but I don't think that qualified as a curse. But do y'all feel like it's still real? And how do y'all think CMC is going to do? He's coming off a phenomenal season, man. So putting him on your fantasy football league, for me, I don't know. You would think that I would be a believer after he did what he did last year, but I don't know. I still have I'm a little superstitious myself, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to draft him on my team, but I'm just saying that now. If he's available and he's the best running back available, I can see myself taking him. It could come back to bite me, but I wouldn't be thinking about the Madden curse. And like I just said, it's not really too much of a thing anymore. I feel like CMC is going to have another great season. He just got paid. I talked about it last week. Getting $19 million a year now the next 2 years. He was the best running back last year. So we're going to have to see. Speaking of other running backs and speaking of fantasy football, Bijan Robinson coming out of the Atlanta Falcons camp, they're saying that, well, he's saying that he might be used like CMC is being used in San Francisco. And I feel like that's big, man. Speaking of CMC, we see what he does, and I feel like Bijan can do the same thing. And I did have him on my fantasy football team last year, but, Arthur Smith happened. So I guess we're going to have to see what he can do with this new coaching regime. And if they're able to use him like CMC, I'm pretty sure a lot of fantasy managers are definitely going to be super happy. I know I will be if I do get a chance to draft Bijan Robinson again. And if that's what he's saying is going to happen, CMC, Bijan Robinson, hey, If you can get those two on your fantasy football team, man, I would say you're shooing for winning the championship. But what do y'all think about it? CMC, man, Madden cover athlete. What do y'all think about it? Mike Tomlin getting that contract extension. What do y'all think about it?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
So, Caitlin Clark, man, talked about her, touched on her a little bit at the beginning of the show, just trying to let people know that I'm not a Caitlin Clark hater. I don't have no problem with Caitlin Clark. But the Let's Talk About It segment, I'm going to give my opinion on Caitlin Clark being left off of Team USA. And it's simple. She should have been left off of Team USA. Not because of, her being the most popular athlete or anything like that. Just simply because you had better players available. You have to take your best over to the Olympics. It's not about popularity. It's not about who is going to bring more attention to the league. This is not about the league. This is about the country. This is about Team USA winning gold. Don't have anything to do with the WNBA. Now, with that being said, Caitlin Clark is a good player, in my opinion. Will she make an Olympic team eventually? Maybe within the next 4 years when the next Olympics come around, she may very well do that. But I think she should take the time and really give herself a break after playing all of this basketball. And hopefully we can see a totally different player when she come back, like more energy. You can tell that she hit a wall somewhat. Maybe she can give her body some time to rest, and she can come back just as good. And that's what we want to see. I think that's what everybody wants to see. I'm talking about the real WNBA fans that don't just watch just for Caitlin. Watch for the entire league. So, with that being said, Stephen A., Gilbert Arenas, and Shay, a whole bunch of other people talking all this craziness, talking about they're missing an opportunity, and Stephen A. talking about you'll see the Andrea and Shanae. Come on, man. It's not even that serious. It's not that serious. All you have to do is continue to cover the sport like you've been covering it since Caitlin Clark came into the league, and the league will be fine. Because, in my opinion, when Monica McNutt mentioned something about the way you were covering it, she said Stephen A. wasn't covering the WNBA like he does now on First Take 3 years ago. And I agree with her. Of course, you're going to cover the champion of the league, but I'm talking about on a week-to-week basis, the WNBA is being talked about on First Take. And the only reason they're talking about it is because of Caitlin Clark. Is that cool? No, it's not. Because like I said in the beginning of the show also, Asia Wilson, she's been there. Arike, she's been there. She was also left off of the U.S. Olympic team also. So if anybody should be mad, she should be mad also. But she has a good reason because she's been in the league for a while now, and she's one of the league's top scorers. So, Stephen A., Gilbert Arenas, all y'all can do better, man. Like, especially not even really watching the league like that, not even really knowing the league. You're just putting your mouth into it, saying she's the most popular athlete. This is the only way you're going to be able to get the ratings up more and pop more popularity to the WNBA. No, watch it. Watch the sport. They have enough stars in this league to continue to pave the way and move forward. And with that being said, I hope they do. It's the constant quest to try to be better today than you were yesterday, and better tomorrow than you were the day before. Kobe Bryant. That's my time, y'all. We'll talk next week.